This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 574. How do I break free from a fitness or weight loss plateau? By Chalene Johnson of chalenejohnson.com. And I'm Dr. Neil, your very own personal narrator. Welcome to a Thursday edition of Optimal Health Daily. This is one of 5 podcasts where we read to you from blogs for free so that you don't have to read them yourself, except on Fridays. That's where I usually answer your questions. Now, before we get to today's post, don't forget, we give away a book to a random person on our mailing list on the first of every month, which I can't believe is coming up in just 4 days. So, if you want to be in the drawing, make sure you're on our mailing list, which you can sign up for at oldpodcast.com. But for now, let's keep this intro short and sweet, get right to today's post as we optimize your life. How do I break free from a fitness or weight loss plateau? By Chalene Johnson of chalenejohnson.com. Here are the 3 must-follow rules in order to break your weight loss plateau. Now, some fitness and health experts say that it's really unnecessary to create any type of rule or restriction needlessly because people will rebel and they'll binge or they'll fall off the wagon and go in the opposite direction. To some extent, I think that's true. But I also know that we crave having a little bit of structure. We want rules. We want something to live by that guides our day. Think about it. There are so many things we do because we've made it a rule in our head. Today, I want to give you 3 that are really important for you to follow. Now, if you are on a health and fitness journey, you know that 80% of the result that you want to get for your body comes not from your exercise, but from what you eat, when you eat it, and how much you're eating. Your nutrition is 80% of it. So if you're really serious, keep listening. I want to give you 3 rules that, if you'll follow them, I promise you will break your weight loss plateau. Number 1 is to stop eating 3 hours before you go to bed. So set a time 3 hours before you go to sleep at which you will no longer be consuming food. I promise you're not going to die of starvation. Create a sign that says the kitchen is closed at 7 or 8 p.m. or whatever time is 3 hours before you go to sleep. Get everybody in your house to know that you need their help to keep you accountable. That's really important because one of the number 1 reasons why most people eat at night is because everybody else is. There's food around, and we made food the centerpiece of our conversation, watching TV and unwinding. But if you get everybody in the household into this one very important habit, not only will you improve the health and fitness of everyone in your house, but you too will have greater success because everybody is there to help and support you. Rule number 2, plan your meals the day before. In order to do that, you need to know how many calories you can consume tomorrow in order to create a deficit of at least 500 calories or even up to 1,000 calories. Now, if you create a daily deficit of 500 calories per day, you're going to lose about a pound per week. If you create a deficit of 1,000 calories per day, you might lose about 2 pounds per week. Now, the only way to create that deficit is to know truly how many calories you burn. There are a bazillion websites that will help you calculate that number, but they are an estimate. I can enter my height, my weight, my gender, how much I exercise, a few other details, and it will give me an estimate of how many calories I'm burning per day. But remember, it's just an estimate. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, that you burn 2,000 calories per day. So, in order to create a 500 calorie deficit, you can only consume 1,500 calories. So, to plan my meals in advance, I start by saying, this is what I want to have for breakfast. I have these ingredients on hand. I know this is what I'm going to consume for breakfast. I know that that's going to be 300 calories. This is what I'm going to consume at 10 a.m. I know that's 150 calories. This is what I'm going to consume for lunch. I know that's 400 calories. You just go throughout your day. You list everything that you're going to eat, how many calories it is, what time you're going to eat it. Then you stop at your 1,500 calorie mark. Rule number 3, write everything down. Hey, guess what? Great news. Rule number 2 kind of takes care of rule number 3, right? Yes, it does. But I want you to write down every little thing that wasn't on your list. Maybe you grabbed a handful of pretzels, or you drank an extra Gatorade, or you had a glass of wine that you hadn't intended to. You're going to write down every possible thing that goes in your mouth. Anything that you consume, you're going to write down. Now, the easiest way for you to do this, in my opinion, is on your phone. It's with you all the time. You don't even have to open up an app, even though there are fantastic ones out there. But if taking those extra steps is what's prohibiting you from doing it every day, create your own system. Just write down the numbers. Just get it done so that you know approximately, well, I shouldn't say approximately, exactly how many calories you're consuming, what you're eating, when you're eating, and why you're eating it, because this gives you some great insights to why and when you're eating. Those emotional triggers, eating because you're bored, eating because it's a habit, eating because everyone else is eating, are not a part of your plan, but are a part of life. So if you had a bad day, don't worry about it. We're all human and we can't be perfect all of the time. But make sure you write it down. Don't avoid the reality of the situation. Be honest with yourself and say, it's okay. I know I will be better tomorrow. This one slip up doesn't define my entire journey. These are 3 simple rules that can pull you out of that plateau. You can do it. I know you can break through this plateau. If you set your mind and you commit to this, you can and you will do it. You can do anything that you set your mind to, and then create a plan. You just listened to the post titled, How Do I Break Free from a Fitness or Weight Loss Plateau? By Chalene Johnson of chalenejohnson.com. Now, the one thing I'll clarify is in regards to rule number 1, eating soon before bed. When we look at the research, there's conflicting evidence when it comes to body fat gain and eating soon before bed. Like I've said many times before, gaining body fat or losing body fat is a very complex process. And there are a number of things that determine, again, whether you're going to gain body fat or lose it. Things like your age, your gender, your level of fitness, how much muscle you carry. All of those things factor in. And again, that's not to mention your meal and meal quality and timing of your meals. So it's very hard to predict for sure whether a person's going to store whatever they just ate as fat or whether it's going to get converted to muscle or stored as sugar for later. Hard to know. But where I see the value in what Chalene was mentioning as far as eating not too close before bed is that sometimes we're not really hungry, but we end up maybe just grabbing something on our way to the kitchen. We're maybe heading up to bed, but we happen to pass by the kitchen and we have that little craving and maybe I'll just nab something on the way up. Or maybe you have a habit of watching TV before bed and you just happen to like to snack and then you go brush your teeth and fall asleep. Well, those could be an extra 100, 150, 200 or more calories that you're getting. And so by closing the kitchen or by telling yourself you're not going to eat soon before bed, it may actually just save you those extra calories that you may be getting without even realizing it. So again, don't know if eating before bed is going to lead to any fat gain, but instead it could be a really great way to save yourself some calories. Now, don't forget, we do book giveaways on the first of every month to random people on our mailing list. That's this Monday, if you can believe it. So if you want to be a part of that, plus get some free spreadsheet tools from us and more, come by oldpodcast.com and join the weekly newsletter. It's totally free and it's a great way to show your support. Again, you can join at oldpodcast.com. I thank you as always for listening. Thank you for being a subscriber of the show. Thank you for sharing the show with someone. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll be back here tomorrow for another Q&A episode and where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this show and Optimal Living Daily, the brother podcast of this one. Literally, I'm Dr. Neil's brother. If you like the format of this show, you'll love Optimal Living Daily too, where I also read to you from blogs, but cover other topics like personal development, finance, and minimalism from bloggers like Derek Sivers, The Minimalists, Zen Habits, and many more. So for more amazing content read to you for free, come subscribe to Optimal Living Daily too, and together we'll optimize your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Health Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode, and head to oldpodcast.com. That's oldpodcast.com for a free gift, as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.